I wanted to draw dragons, but I needed inspiration. What I didn't expect is to fall into a rabbit hole when I researched them. When I read the myths and legends and then went over the modern stories for children, I was left with questions. Are we babying our children by making dragons into fluffy, cuddly creatures? And are these new dragons at all similar to the ones that inspired them? Dragons in myths and legends. Traditionally, dragons in Western myths and legends are fearsome, powerful creatures. They symbolize danger, deception, and the unknown. Dragons were often used as adversaries for heroes to conquer, representing a battle against an overwhelming odds or evil forces. They symbolize danger, deception, and the unknown. The myth of Beowulf is an epic poem telling a story about a warrior who helps a king by fighting and defeating a horrible monster named Grendel. After returning home and eventually becoming king, the old hero faces his greatest and final challenge, the battle with a fearsome dragon. The dragon has been guarding a treasure and is provoked when a thief steals a golden cup. Despite his age, Beowulf bravely confronts the dragon, but he is no longer the invincible warrior of his youth. As the battle intensifies and Beowulf struggles against the dragon, all of his men flee in fear, except for Wiglaf. Together, Beowulf and Wiglaf manage to defeat the dragon. However, during the battle, Beowulf is mortally wounded by the dragon's poisonous bite. The poem ends with Beowulf's funeral. The treasure, though won, is buried with him, symbolizing the pointlessness of earthly wealth and the decline of even the greatest heroes. Dragons in modern children's literature. In modern-day literature, dragons have undergone a significant transformation. While some stories retain the traditional view of the dragons as dangerous creatures, many modern dragons are depicted as friendly, wise, or even comical. Today's dragons are more likely to be complex characters with distinct personalities. They may serve as companions, mentors, or even main characters. Hush Little Dragon by Boni Ashburn. This is basically Hush Little Baby in a dragon format. This story follows a mom dragon giving different characters as food to the baby. This could be a very scary and grotesque scene, but it's shown in a playful way and softened with the images and the language. We can't really see the baby eating the characters, but at the end of the book, we can acknowledge that the characters were actually eaten. Zog by Julia Donaldson. Zog is a rhyming story about a young dragon named Zog, who wants to do well at dragon school. Throughout the story, Zog learns dragon skills in each year, like flying, roaring, breathing fire. However, he struggles with clumsiness and frequently injures himself. During his mishaps, Zog is helped by a kind young girl named Princess Pearl, who bandages his wounds. In his final year at dragon school, Zog cannot capture a princess, but Princess Pearl offers herself. She lives with the dragons and helps them when they get hurt. When a knight comes to rescue her, Princess Pearl stops Zog and the knight from fighting, and the three characters team up instead, with Pearl becoming a doctor, the knight serving as her assistant, and Zog as their ambulance. Here we have stepped away from the typical narrative of myths and are faced with modern-day problems. Others' expectations of us being someone or doing something we don't align with. Conclusion. Modern-day life brings different problems for our children than they had in the past. Personal issues such as diversities, character flaws, and discrimination are often seen in today's world, and their stories now change and add in these themes, and so do the dragons. The overall population of people now is much more conscious of their children's sensitivities and are involved in the content they consume. So according to their child, they will introduce different types of stories. Old mythical themes such as personal possessions shouldn't be our main focus in life, and sometimes we should face problems and not run away from it, are still meaningful. We see these themes in modern literature as well. Some critics argue that making everything too soft might prevent children from learning how to cope with fear or difficult emotion. Exposure to manageable levels of fear in a controlled environment can help build resilience. But not every story needs to teach us a lesson. Some stories can be just for fun. Today's dragons can be mythical, modern, or a mix of both. Just we have more choices.